6 years ago, I was just 18, a solo backpacker embarking on my first intercontinental solo trip. Back then, I roamed the east coast of Australia, wide-eyed and full of wonder. Now I've returned as an experienced adventurer, living and studying in Sydney for a year as part of my Master of Environmental Management. This time, I wanted something bigger. This is across Australia. You go in, and it's even here more space. And you go in, you can sit here. Nice. Cooking, water, fridge, everything. Microwave, iced coffee. Let's go, let's go.
Welcome to Australia.
A journey across the continent, from Sydney to Perth. Over 4,400 kilometers stretched ahead of me in my campervan, promising not just breathtaking landscapes, but lessons about the challenges of this land and stories connected to it. Leaving Sydney behind, I felt the pull of the open road, a sense of freedom. My first stop was Goulburn, a historic town known for its wool industry. Here Goulburn's sheep grazing lands faced challenges of soil erosion and invasive species, issues I had already explored at UNSW Sydney. From Goulburn I continue to Area Park, a charming village frozen in time, with 1920s style shop fronts lining its main street. As I walked through this quiet town, I thought about the impact of rural depopulation on communities like this. Environmental initiatives, such as renewable energy projects, could bring new life to these regions while addressing climate change.
I could cool things down.
By evening, I reached Griffith, surrounded by vineyards and citrus groves, a town sustained by the Murray-Darling Basin.
I clean out a wound when you set the cut.
In the morning, I woke up to calls of cockatoos sitting in the gum trees around Griffith. These iconic Australian birds are a common sight here, but their numbers are decreasing in some areas due to habitat loss. Lake Griffith, a vital wetland nearby, provides an essential refuge for many species, including cockatoos. This reminded me of the importance of wetland conservation and balancing biodiversity with urban and agricultural expansion.
As long as it's able, I'd rather be water than something I'm not. I'd rather be dirt than controlled by a thought. I'd rather be dirt than controlled by a thought. That turns into work, turns me inside and out. Turns into work, turns me inside and out. I'm gonna reach down to rub the earth on my hand. I'm gonna reach down to rub the earth on my hand. I'm weathered and beaten like a salty old man. I'm weathered and beaten like a salty old man. To know where I come from is where I go.
In the wild.
To know where I come from is where I go. Leads me to this moment that I already know. Leads me to this moment.
Leaving Griffith, I passed through Hay, a town surrounded by the Hay Plains. One of the flattest lands on earth. The grasslands here are fragile, their ecosystems often overgrazed and under pressure from climate change. Native grasses prevent soil erosion and maintain the region's biodiversity.
see the pictures of my young.
Later I stopped at Lake Benani, a shimmering body of water surrounded by arid plains. Here I thought of my discussions with Yala National Park rangers about preserving Aboriginal spiritual sites and the lakes within the park. Indigenous knowledge plays a vital role in managing these ecosystems.
Have to stop and look away. It makes me wanna start over again.
Just before Bight in South Australia, I had a close call. I had forgotten about 2 apples in my campervan at the South Australian border. The quarantine officer warned me of a $400 fine, but luckily my German driver's license saved me. No address, no fine.
Wake. I forget about my younger days, and I think of.
I woke up near the Murray River bend in Bight, watching white pelicans glide across the water. These majestic birds depend on the health of the river, which has been impacted by over-extraction and salinity issues. In my studies, I had delved into the challenges of river management, finding a balance between agriculture, urban needs, and the ecosystems that call the river home.
Over again.
After enjoying one of the best coffees at River Jack's Cafe, I set off on a long day of driving.
I know best. I don't have to pretend I'm okay. Then I think of my younger days. Everything was to go my way, and I have to stop and look away. It makes me wanna start over again. Over again. It makes me wanna start over again. Over again. There's a tear in your heart and it's letting in the cold. Wrap a scarf round your neck, cross your heart, forgetting what you're told. We can start a fire that'll burn right through the night. Oh, these boys are getting into it.
In Burra, a town with a history steeped in copper mining, I thought about the environmental legacies of mining towns, contaminated soils, and the difficulty of land rehabilitation.
Whether you're brushing on a canvas or painting on your cheek, one look will send me into it, one look will make me just as weak. We can start a fire that'll burn right through the night. Oh, these girls are far from innocent, much different in the morning light.
Passing through Port Germain and Port Augusta, I was reminded of the Eyre Peninsula's water shortages, a problem I had researched in my studies. These towns are epitomes of the challenges faced by arid regions, where population growth strains already scarce resources.
Back my old friend, don't want someone new. Oh, I heard a lie, so I told the truth.
As I neared Kimba, I saw a lone cyclist attempting a round Australia trip. His determination mirrored the spirit of this vast land. Arriving in Kimba felt surreal, like a ghost town, with no mates inside, but no worries. Later, in the local pub, I met some miners who shared life stories from the outback. Kimba, though quiet, pulsed with resilience. The weather shifted dramatically as I left Kimba, rising from a cool 20 to 32 degrees in the middle of winter. My destination was Ceduna, a town famous for its oysters. After tasting local foods, I was impressed at how nature provides, even in these rugged conditions. These waters are a part of a stunning marine ecosystem under pressure from overfishing and climate change.
Let's go. Cold. Great Australian Bight.
In Ceduna, I dipped into the Great Australian Bight. These waters are home to great white sharks, a sobering reminder of the balance between amazement and caution in nature. Penong, the last outpost before the Nullarbor, I saw the remnants of an old First Nations village in Yalata, close to the public but rich with cultural significance. By nightfall, I reached the head of the Bight, where the clearest stars I had ever seen lit up the sky like a map.
The Nullarbor Plains. 7:30 a.m. Nobody here. treeless plain.
And most people had a gift for the money, and everybody thought it was just for a while. There was a time when the birds were singing, and you thought it was a song on the radio. And most people said it was for
Breakfast in Nullarbor Plain was unlike any other, the silence broken only by the wind and the occasional buzz of flies. The Nullarbor is one of the most remote areas on Earth, and managing resources here is a logistical challenge. The roadhouses are lifelines, and petrol prices reflect the isolation.
everything was on fire. Fire. Everything was on fire. There was a time when the rich were wrong. The more money, the more they were alone. And most people played jazz for a living, but everybody was game for rock and roll.
At the Banda Cliffs, I was swarmed by flies, a reminder of the land's harshness.
And I thought it was a way to find the truth. And most people said it was for love, that it was a bad right to go to war. There was a time when I was your man, and everything was on.
Crossing into Western Australia felt monumental, and soon I arrived in Niklas, a town steeped in history as a former telegraph station.
Fire. Everything was on fire. There was a time when the birds were singing. There was a time when the rich were wrong. Everything was on. There was a time when the best was coming out of a box with a ribbon and stars. Everything was on fire. Fire.
I faced the infamous 90-mile straight, a stretch of road so flat and long it earned the nickname Highway to Hell.
Fire. Fire.
The endless horizon was hypnotic, broken only by the occasional road train, a monster of metal and wind that rocked my campervan.
Fire.
Driving into Norseman late at night was an experience. Kangaroos jumped across the road, a stark warning of why night driving is discouraged. In the town's lone bar, I met 4 old miners drinking beer, their laughter echoing in the empty streets, a slice of outback life I would never forget. Norsemen greeted me with a quiet morning, but the town carried the weight of its mining history. Gold mining has left its mark here, not just economically but environmentally. During my studies, I had read about the long-term impacts of mining on soil and water contamination, issues that towns like Norseman continue to grapple with. The journey took me through Grass Patch, a remote settlement where leaving the road could mean trouble. Out here, isolation demands respect. By afternoon, I reached Cape Le Grand National Park. I had seen pictures of Lucky Bay, but nothing prepared me for the real thing. The sand was so white it sparkled, and the water was the deepest turquoise I'd ever seen. This wasn't just a beach, it was a masterpiece of nature. Walking barefoot on the sand, I thought about the efforts to keep this park pristine. Managing visitor impact is no small task, especially with the growing popularity of destinations like this. I spent hours exploring, from the serene beauty of Hellfire Bay to the surreal sight of kangaroos grazing alongside cows. Australia really is the lucky country.
Summer waits by the seaside. Open roads lead the way. And after hours and I was all with you, we heard them breaks, the rolling waves.
By evening, I made my way to Esperance, the gateway to this coastal wonderland. Esperance faces its own environmental challenges, from protecting marine life to managing salt-affected soils in the surrounding farmlands. The town felt like a blend of wilderness and civilization, where nature and humanity try to coexist.
These cold, still roads are all we'll ever find, the memories made from trails we left behind along the way. I know these roads will take us home.
Leaving Esperance, I stopped at the Munglinup Roadhouse, a lonely outpost where I met a cat that quickly became my companion for the morning. There is something comforting about these remote stops, a sense of community that thrives in the isolation. From there I traveled through Lake Grace, where vast salt lakes shimmered under the sun, their beauty hiding the ecological challenges they pose. Salt encroachment is a growing problem in this region, threatening farmland and native vegetation alike. Driving past the salt lakes, I thought about how reforestation with salt-tolerant species and improved drainage systems could help reclaim these lands. By evening, I reached Pinjarra, located in the shadow of Darling Range, known for its historic sites and lush surroundings. After 7 days and over 4,300 kilometers, I finally reached the Indian Ocean. Golden Bay greeted me with warm sand, gentle waves, and fish swimming close to the shore. The water felt different here, fuller, richer, less touched by human activity than the East Coast. Fisheries are less active in this region, leaving the marine ecosystems more intact. Standing there, I felt the weight of the journey made, replaced by a deep sense of accomplishment. I had crossed the continent, from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean. As I waded into the water, plenty of fish went around my legs. It was a stark contrast to the busy beaches of Sydney, where human activity dominates. Perth, Western Australia. I found a city that felt like a smaller, quieter version of Sydney. Its laid-back atmosphere and proximity to nature made it a fitting endpoint for my journey. But even Perth faces environmental challenges, from water scarcities to urban sprawl. During my time here, I explored Kings Park, a sprawling green space that offers a sanctuary for both people and wildlife. It reminded me of the importance of urban green spaces in connecting cities back to the more than human world. From Perth, I headed to Fremantle, Freo, a trendy port town known for its vibrant art scene and historic charm. Walking its streets, I came across the resting place of Bon Scott, the legendary AC/DC frontman from Fremantle. It was a fitting endpoint to my journey and to the wild, rebellious spirit of this land and the people who call it home. This journey wasn't just about crossing a continent. It was about discovering its heart. Every kilometer taught me something new. Australia isn't just a place. It's an experience. a lesson in how land, water and life are connected. As I watched the sun dip below the horizon, I felt a deep gratitude for this land and the journey it had given me. This wasn't the end. It was a beginning, a call to protect the places that shape us and the planet that sustains us. But for now, no worries and see you later, mate.